Hi guys! So yeah, this is my first English tutorial and I feel awfully awkward about it. But anyway, I'm gonna start. I thought it would make sense to do a voiceover in 2 languages, even though like 99% of my subscribers are Korean. but I know there's 1% out there and I do care a lot about them. And I thought it would be hard for them to read and watch at the same time. So yeah, I'm trying, guys. This is basically how I knit. It was one of my most requested video. I learned how to knit continental style through YouTube, and it was a lifesaver because if I didn't learn how to knit continental style, then I don't think this channel might exist. And so I hope this helps any of you as well. When I first started continental style, it was a disaster, but as I finished one cardigan with this method, I got much better. The way that I knit is, I think it's very similar as the other people knit. Most of the knitters wrap this yarn once with a pinky. At first, I knitted this way, but it didn't really work out for me because, like, for me, the yarn really tangled up to my pinky, so it was inefficient for me. So what I do is I pull quite a lot of yarn in front of me. I hold a working yarn with my index and middle finger, just like that. And with my rest of my fingers, I stick the yarn to the needle. So let me show you again. Hold the yarn with these 2 big fingers and push the yarn to the needle with these 2 little fingers. So you can see that this yarn is like 90 degrees from this left needle, if that makes sense. It actually looks like a triangle this way. If you struggle with a tension, try to move your index finger away from you. If you move it towards you, it will get loose and you'll have trouble knitting with it. Move it away from you makes it much easier. So to sum it up, I adjust the tension 3 times holding this way. Once by holding it between my index and middle finger. Second, by this like 90 degrees, how it's folded with my index finger. And lastly, by sticking it to the needle with this little and ring finger. I tension it these ways and I just knit it. I think tension is everything. It is so important. If it's too loose, try to make it tighter. If my method doesn't suit you, try other method as well and find what suits you the best. And also when I knit, I make sure that the yarn is at a reachable place. And I like to knit with a lot of stitches on the needle. I know it kind of sounds weird. I knit only using these little area around the tip of the needle. Like for instance, if you knit all the way from down here, so then it takes so much time. So I like to make my stitches crowded around the tip of my needle and knit. So after I push my needle, I try to make sure that I have the right tension on my left hand and I push the stitch that I'm going to knit with my thumb. Stick right needle upward, rotate index finger and pull it out. When you move your index finger, I try to move it just a little bit because the bigger your motions are, you're more likely to have a sore hands. So try to knit with a small motions. And you'll notice that the tight tension and knitting near the tip of the needle really do helps doing that. And also, by the way, when I first started continental style, I knitted like this. I push the needle in, rotate it big, and pull it out. Like these 3 steps. It was okay, but I noticed that it wasn't fast enough. And also because I didn't use my thumb to push the stitches, I couldn't knit it without watching it. I had to always keep an eye on it. So I decided to change and I practiced pushing stitches with my thumb one by one. It was hard, like really hard at first. But now as I come to think of it, this is like one of the most things that I never regret learning it. And also, like, do you remember that I told you that at first that I needed in 3 steps? Push it in, turn, and pull it out. I kind of made it in 2 motion. So it's not just 1, 2, 3. Instead, it was like 1, 2, 1, 2. As I push in my needle, I moved my index finger at the same time in one motion, and I pulled it out as the other motion. If you see it far away, it actually looks like you're moving your needle like backward and forward, which is really cool. I think this is it. Other tips would be that the types of the needle really matters. I'm not using bamboo needle because I just like the sound of it. But if you use steel needle, it's much faster because the yarn slides off the needle. Also, the weight of the yarn matters as well. If it's too light, or it will be hard to knit. Lastly, I think the length of the needle matters. I use 4 and 5 inches, and I noticed 5 inches needle are much easier on my hands, hence the faster results. So yeah, these were my little tips. These were just the way I knit. It might not be suitable for you, but anyway, try it and apply it if you like. And yeah. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Happy knitting!
Can't see the future, can't see the past. I can only hope that this will last. Oh, sunshine, never mind. Bring me all of your gray skies. Love has new faces, but it's still the same. You may be the one, but it could be a game. It took me too long to realize, oh, that I'm stuck on the ground while you're up in the skies. Oh, sunshine, never mind. Bring me all your gray skies, yeah. The moon never seems so bright. Can't see the future, no, I can't see the past. The sunshine, can you make this last? Love, don't let me go. Say what you need, but don't say it so.